Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we are back here in the single player world of building with fWhip. Can you all believe this is episode 271 of this series? That is by far the longest series I have ever done in the history of anything. I still haven't replaced the stair here. Do I have one? I don't. I have a jungle stair on me and oak stairs. Oh, what am I doing? Anyways, we're starting off today's episode. I wanted to come over here and just quickly update our maps so that they could get all pretty good and fancy. I've tweaked a few things in this area. I built up a little market stall right in here just to have something to fill this spot. Just felt very open in here. So we got the market stall in there now. Last episode, we came through here and built up this wonderful brewery, and I think we worked on... No, that stuff was all before. We did the brewery and maybe this... I don't really know. It has been a good while since I've been here inside of this world. That's enough of updating those maps, and because the legacy SMP server has started up recently, and I have been in love with playing over there. If y'all haven't checked out that series yet, I would... Ooh, no, the map's over here. I would 100% recommend you go and check that one out. This world is definitely not stopping, though. Don't worry about that one. I'm just very hyped up on the other series for now. We're definitely going to be pushing through and getting some more stuff done on here before we hit that world tour, and then y'all can get the download out for it, and I'm so excited to be sharing that with everybody there. A little bit of a sad note here on this one. I want to hear your feedback on the comments on this one before the world tour comes out, but I have more or less decided that I want to do the world download via Patreon, YouTube memberships, or via Twitch subs. So if you are subscribed to me on Twitch, if you are a member here on YouTube, or if you are at least the stone tier on Patreon, you will get access to the world download. Reasoning for this is I found out my last world download, the episode 225 world download, has been used many times as adventure maps on servers without my permission, and basically it's been stolen, and somebody actually converted it to Bedrock and is trying to sell it on the Minecraft marketplace. And I found that out through getting contacted about stuff. But anyways, I'm tired of the stuff I do being stolen, so I believe a way to defend against a lot of that is to kind of just limit how many people have access to download it, and if it's not a free download, people will be much less likely to take it and try and make money off of it when they have to pay for it to get started. So that's kind of where I'm at on it. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think on that one. I've been busy here on the server on the world, not the server, doing a little bit of building. This house here is brand new, as well as this house here is brand new too. They're looking really good. I'm very happy with both of these ones. I think it's really cool coming through this point right here now. You come through here, kind of looks closed off. You turn around this corner and everything you see is currently, besides that little spot right there, is built up. It just makes the city feel so much more completed when you can walk down the side of a street and just look through it. Maybe not walking all the way down it, but it just looks like there's buildings around this one. So this guy here, for the base of this one, we've got some dead coral here, and then we got some gray concrete powder, and then on the upper area we got some stripped dark oak wood, some sandstone, and then some spruce, and the roof is just spruce slabs. This one over here we got just some cobblestone andesite, moving into a bunch of spruce wood, then some jungle wood with a little bit of oak accent at the top. Today, however, as y'all probably know by the thumbnail and everything, and I don't really know what it looks like, but we're going to be building up I'm going to start with those two, and then we'll see if we can tackle those two as well. Ooh, another thing I forgot that we did. I'm also coming back here to sleep. I finished our little park back here. I think it's really sweet. I love it. I just added the leaves on top of this tree, planted a bunch of flowers around here, put a few beds in so that we can sleep on these things, and it's very, very nice and safe and all that stuff. And we actually have over here, I know this is a very long intro starting clip, but we have a way to get down into the sewers once we eventually keep expanding those, and this is kind of my access to my storage rooms and everything like that. I think keeping those in the sewers is kind of the way I want to go with all this, but I will tell y'all what, I think it's time that we get a little bit building on and see what we can do with these guys here. Working on the first structure now. It's taken a little bit of a different shape and color combo than what we're typically using. Down here we got a little bit of mossy stone, going to some cobblestone, going to some andesite as well, just kind of being a little bit of andesite across the top. I've kind of, now that I've started the second floor, wanted to start bringing a little bit more of this stuff in to make it feel a little bit more apparent, because since we've added that cobblestone overlay texture, it's made the other stones a little bit on the less visible side, I guess we could say. The upper level we have up here is using some dark oak logs in here, and then this is stripped spruce logs. We're using some orange stained glass panes inside of there. as well as a few oak trap doors currently. That's kind of my general plan that I have right now. Do I have scaffolding? I do have scaffolding. Isn't that nice? I'm thinking for now, I'm going to keep this section. I kind of want to forget about this wall for now. And I'm thinking about maybe merging these together so we can have a bit of an archway, like a bit of an archway instead of just an opening. I feel like that could be cooler getting into the park area. So I'm going to leave that one open for now, as I mentioned. But coming back here, all I'm doing with these is doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Skip a block in the middle, 1, 2, 3, and then finishing that finally on this side right there. Then bringing in a little bit of cobblestone here temporarily, right like this. So we can face these middle ones going outwards. We can then grab our spruce logs, face these lower guys going out. I feel like it just adds a lot more detail to this build just with a simple thing like this. Otherwise, it was feeling a little flat. I tried it both ways first, and this one for me personally felt a lot better. Just having that extra bit of detail here at the base with that face instead of it just being a consistent line. Then where the windows are going, you can place in a little bit of cobblestone. I guess we got the orange stained glass on us right now, so it really doesn't matter. But then just fill all this stuff in and then strip all of your spruce wood down. This house here is now done, which is absolutely awesome. Collecting the last bit of our scaffolding. We've got to still figure out this archway here. And I want to test, do we have any Shulkerbox Island or whatever the heck we're calling it this time? Shulkerbox Marketplace is very much expanding. And I was thinking if we came through here and created a little bit of an overhang, kind of like right out in this spot, it could be pretty cool. I don't think it'll cut off like the headroom very much, which means that this structure over here is going to be kind of connected from that second floor. I think is okay. And what I'm planning to do is this one's just going to have the base floor, and this one up here is actually going to have access to that second floor. And I've got a very, very cool idea in mind of this whole section in here. For the upper layers, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to put some villagers up here because I am tired of farming clay. So I want to get a few villagers in there. We'll get a few farmers and we'll get a few stonemasons, which can trade us bricks and everything like that. Where is my bed? There we go. So we can just throw a floor in there. Not going to decorate it at all. Just going to make it into a little mini villager trading hall. The one I've been building on Legacy SMB has really kind of, I guess you haven't seen that video yet. Spoilers for the video coming out on Friday. But I got a villager trading hall now, and it's kind of game changing there. So we're gonna continue and get that a little bit set up here on this guy. I think it'd be kind of cool having that around the marketplace. This one over here, I think I'm just gonna work on getting the base layer in. The reason why I want brick though is I want to use this building and maybe this building as doing like a brick and granite base to it, just to get some more colors in here, and that'll really help tie this whole structure back here into everything. So with all these ones set up, it's really starting to look pretty good in here though. I'm very happy with what we've done today. We can actually check out the park now because every single structure around the park is finished. So this is our park, folks. Like look at this. One structure at a time. This is kind of what we're able to come up with. I think this is awesome. I'm so happy with this project. This just city project as a whole, what we've been able to do recently over the last few episodes has really started to like bring all this stuff in here and finish up so many sections of it. And it's just insane what we've been able to accomplish. So thank you so very much for coming through this ride here with me. Let me know in the comments below if you've been here for the entire time or if you've binged every single video from this not the mountains, the city build. I'm curious to see who has watched this entire thing come into fruition to what it is now. But in that, let's get back to the building. This house over here is now built up as well as far as getting the second layer and the roof on it. It's just a spruce roof up there. It really doesn't do too much. It does, however, I wanted to chat with y'all about this side. I feel like I'm kind of moving away from doing any traditional building things because I'm like, well, we've built so many houses that I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, if I can't find something new to chat, actually, I want to move that back one. If I can't find something new to chat about, like, what do I talk to y'all about? You know, nobody wants to be like, all right, here's a tutorial on how to build the 50th house inside of the city. So let's talk about that. And then, so kind of what I've been doing here is trying to find some more interesting ways to talk about things. Anyways, on that topic of talking about things, let's talk about things. Over here, what we have on this backside is you can see this giant flat stone wall. If you're looking down here compared to the rest of the city, it's just kind of very big and bare. It's not super interesting. Also, I think we're going to redo that construction site right over there, make it a little bit better than it is. But what we can do for this one is we can take the time. So that's 1, 2, 3 and go. Let's go with like 1, 2, 3. I think that'd be it right there too. We can create a little bit of a balcony going over here. that would be something that people could just come out here and stand on or sit on or whatever it might be. Just some way for it to just look slightly different than it was before. I know it's going to be very, very small on this side, but we can do something like this. And this will give us a more interesting way that we can kind of just have people around this area. I think these outside ones I'm actually going to turn into some slabs over here to give that a little bit more depth to it. So you kind of, it's not just like flat going over back there right here. It looks a little bit thinner. But just little additions like this of breaking up that gray stone face that we had just by adding in a little bit of these things around here. Originally, I was thinking it would be kind of good to, I don't really know why I'm just ending it at this point. This can be a little shorter one. I feel like it's going to be much, much better when it's like this. But we can come up here. We have this little bit of an outcropping right here. We can either close this in using the stripped log that we have up there. I was thinking instead of using stripped birch where we have up on that side, we use some stripped oak down here. So let's see what we can do this real fast just over on this section. Just to have some more detail added in here. We can get rid of a lot of these greenery bushes and things as well. I just kind of add those in as I go, and then I'm just like afterwards, yeah, we'll take about half of them probably. But just doing something right here like this can give ourselves like almost like a little bit of like a sun porch of sorts. So let's do that, and then we can fill this in right here. That'll give us a nice little spot for a window, and then we can obviously break open the stone side on this a little bit more so it's easier to walk in and out of this spot. But that should be something that we can just do really, really easily and just get a lot more detail and depth into this area instead of what we had before where it's getting a little flat and boring. So we can do this and then just use some spruce slabs or maybe some, I don't know, we'll find something out. We'll find something for a little bit of a roof action down here. We want to make sure it still fits in with the build, but that, like, that's jungle, that's spruce. There's a lot of spruce around here, so I feel like spruce probably doesn't make sense. Maybe I'll do like a little bit of a splash of acacia to give it a little bit more of a red highlight down here. That'd be kind of unique. And there we go. Something a little bit more like this down here I think is going to do it for that building there. See, it's just breaking up that stone, so it's not just the gray all the way up. I know it's a lot more similar with that upper level and lower level, but I think that red acacia strip in there is kind of a cool way we can break things up. And then just using these little bits of greenery and everything down here was a good job for that one as well. But we've got a lot of these structures done. I think for me, that's a good point to take a break from the building for a while. We've been grinding like crazy. I did get a staircase up in the middle here so we can get up this side, which we can use to move some villagers up here. And then there is a little bit of a walkway area right throughout here using some fence gates to kind of reinforce it. I kind of like the idea of it being open, giving ourselves a little bit more walking room in here if we got to bump some villagers around or something. But then there's also this open side on this point. I think there's a village around here somewhere that will have a few spares that we can borrow. And I know we have this village right here, but I don't really want to take any out of there because they're not really breeding up anymore. Something with those guys is just not really clicking anymore. They just kind of are living over there. But we do have this one right over this way. I know it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get the villagers back there, but that's something that I can just deal with and struggle with. And, you know, you all just be like, all right, I'm going to move the villagers. And you're all like, yay. And then all the villagers are in their happy place through magical video editing. But over here, there should be some unless they've all been killed. Are you in the well? Nope, not in the well. Timmy, are you anywhere around here? Nope, all these village houses are just totally messed up. Okay, maybe they aren't here. This is what it looks like when you get two villages that generate over the top of each other if you clear up chunks, people. I deleted literally like half of those chunks and they're just completely gone. There is this place back here, though, that would be a viable place for villagers to live in, minus workstations, because this was built before 114. This was built back... Ooh, I heard something. Oh, there we go. We got one. We got two. They're both right there. Oh, perfect. Sweet. We can use those guys. They're trying to get down here into their little shrine. Yep, you guys are trying to come down here with the little worship shrine. Okay, we've got two villagers. We can transport these guys back home, and hopefully that we don't hate ourselves doing this. All right, the villagers are moved out here. I've taken a few precautions and built up a few soul sand bubble elevators to get ourselves over there more efficiently. And it's times like these that I really wished I finished the digging project for the canal, because right now this would be where water is, and right now it goes right there. Does not connect to the other ocean, but I've come over here, build the little bubble elevator so we can take those boats inside of here. That'll take us all the way up to this. Then we're on flat land and it's downhill from here, so that's going to be good. The way that we can get over to there, though, we're going to have to get over there by going all the way around. And then once we get into here, I have built another bubble elevator right at this point, so we can just go right into this guy, shoot ourselves up here, and then we can just drop the villagers off in this point, lock them in here, make sure they can never leave. That's the only way out right now after we seal this wall up again, so they're gonna live in here forever. So I need to just go make 2 trips, bring both those guys over here, and then I think we just chuck some bread at them and call it good, and we can use them to breed up in that spot. I cannot believe we got the first one here totally safe, no issues, maybe a slight issue, and the second one dies upon arrival. I don't even know how it suffocated inside the blocks here, but obviously something was catching it, so I've taken down this part, restored it back to what it was, got a new villager over here, so the third villager has been successfully transported. But you know, folks, I really understand why people go forward with building, like, I don't know, the Panama Canal or something like that. And yeah, that right there versus all the way around is exactly why. I think right now, to be honest, I might leave this in place. I know it's kind of an eyesore and it's bright pink, but I think I'm going to leave this in place just because that is a potential very, very easy way to get things up here, like mobs and whatnot if we need to. Because this is kind of one of the higher points in the city, like all that's lower than it, but granted that does go up and down. So I think I might leave that there for now. I know it's kind of gross looking, but I think it's going to be useful later if we need to get a new villager for some unknown reason. But I'm going to breed these guys up. I think I have enough wheat somewhere or carrots somewhere maybe that we can just throw a bunch at them. Because if we throw 12 carrots at each of them and we throw some beds on the ground, we should be good to go. So if we just gather up a bunch of this stuff out of these fields, I hardly ever gather these, but it's going to be useful. So we can do this, just replant this one back here, just do some diagonal lines right in here, and that'll grow up over time, but that should be enough carrots, and we've got a bunch of wool over here that we can use to make some beds, so hopefully this area can be at least somewhat recouped. So time for me to get on with some villager work. I may have accidentally crafted too many beds to put them up here, but I think the general game plan is welcome to our safe zone. It's a cushion everywhere you look on the floor, besides this little pathway. But I think the plan is here to just, you know, we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bring ourselves down to here, and we can say, you can have those if you want to pick them up, and one of you can have those. Let's hope that you guys start doing the thing. We're not staring. Nope, this is not the internet watching right here. Okay, fine. I'll go back away. Jeez. But hopefully they breed up. Ooh, 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 perfect. Look at that. Wow, I am such a professional Minecrafter, folks. This is... oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are we gonna see the baby? We got the baby! We got the baby! Oh my gosh, we got the baby! Alright, so now we got 3. That's good. And we can give them a little... I think they need a little bit of a cooldown before they breed again or something like that. But the plan is that we're gonna lure them over to this side, and this is where we're gonna have our little trade station set up. So I gotta retrofit this side over here to something that'll work a little bit better for actually housing some villagers together, and then we'll like block this thing off here completely so there's like a double trapdoor or something so they can't go back. That should be a good way that we can kind of separate them to keep this as the breeding area. That is the trading area, at least until we fill them up with enough villagers. So I'm gonna get to that and I'll be back with y'all. A bit of a progress update for you all here. I decided we're gonna split this off into 2. So this side over here is all stonemasons at this point. Still gotta trade with the top ones, but look how many bricks we have. These guys back here have been working hard. There's just a few in here still just hanging out, and we gotta keep moving them over. I'm out of carrots. I've harvested up that entire field by this point in time, but this point right here, just so satisfying. We're just gonna get so many bricks, and I do have a data pack inside this world that makes it so that bricks, when you get them, you can craft 4 for 1 set of crafting instead of where you don't really get that many. But look at all of that, and that's gonna all turn into here. So basically it gives you 4 instead. So I know it makes bricks a little bit... I think I'm gonna disable that data pack now that we've been in here doing this stuff for so long, I think it might be time to get rid of that one. Especially now, that's an entire shulker box of brick blocks right there, which is pretty dang good. This poor guy's just looking at all of his friends being like, hey bud, how's it going back there in your little box? I'm running free over here. We have a lot of villagers now. They are overrunning this area in here, and I think it's time that we just need to break these beds. I don't really care about picking them up. As you can see, I have a bunch of shears on me because I've been trading with a lot of those shepherds because I want to get those wool trades. I know it's hard to get a trade for every single color of wool, and I know you can make an auto sheep farm, but I feel like villagers might be an easier way to go on that. Probably short-term gain of not dealing with... Can we get... nope, that's what I wanted. Crap. Please? Okay, there we go. But I feel like the short-term gains of just getting more villagers in here is probably good, and we can make some easy emeralds off of shepherds later on if we get them maxed out, which means we can buy more bricks, glazed terracotta, and the works from those guys, but these guys have all trade at least to 1 level. But if we set up a wool farm, we can actually just trade that directly here with these guys and get a bunch of emeralds out of that. Even like gray dye for an emerald, that's very easy. Looks like we even have a wandering trader that wants to go hang out with his buddies upstairs. Thankfully from out here, you can't really tell that that's a villager trading hall, besides you can see the backs of the villager heads, which is totally fine, but none of the windows are blocked out or anything like that. But unfortunately, folks, I think that's gonna have to do it for today. We were able to get a bunch of stuff built. I know only 2 of the houses were actually in the episode itself, and these 2 down here were before the episode, but we were able to get that, the park, and everything else done, and then these villagers have taken far too long to work with. So I think next episode I'm going to focus on getting these guys done over here, and we'll come and do this market stall, or this market area in here, and fill it with a bunch of different stalls and colorful stuff and things. But let me know in the comments below what type of market stalls and what other stuff we should be focusing on in this world here. I think I'm just going to trash all these beds. There's no way I'm ever going to use that many light gray beds, as I lose my beds all the time. But I don't really want the shears either. They're just going to fill up space where it doesn't need to. So those can all hang out over there. And I've got my full shulker box of brick blocks in here. I'm going to fly off into the distance. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit that like button down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are brand new, and I will catch you on the fWhip side. Also, we got to build some fields over here. This is going to be all fields eventually, like that stuff. Like over here too. I'm very excited for that. There's a lot of cool things we can do in this area.